greed the holy books condemn, but man's new religion surely does pretend to war and strife and a bitter end. So come, all you who would die in sin, and drink the last from that bottle of gin. This is CSN, your cultural news show from Oakland, California. Good evening, I'm Ian Moore. In today's show, we spotlight the ambassadors of African culture. Piri Thomas performs poetry of Langston Hughes. We have Chief Stephen Osete Osababi giving us a music video. We have Lola Ogariola, who will interview Adayinka Adayemi on Face the Funk. And we have a dance piece from Chuck Davis Dance Company. So sit back, stay conscious, and enjoy the show.
Negro. I am a Negro. Black as the night is black. Black like the depth of my Africa. I've been a slave. Caesar told me to keep his doorsteps clean. I brushed the boots of Washington. I've been a worker. Under my hands the pyramids rose. I made mortar for the Woolworth building. I've been a singer. All the way from Africa to Georgia, I carried my sorrow songs. I made ragtime. I've been a victim. The Belgians cut off my hands in the Congo. They lynch me still in Mississippi. I am a Negro. Black as the night is black. Black like the depths of my Africa.
And now this. And now, this.
Hello everyone, my name is Lola Ogunriola and I'd like to welcome you to Face the Funk. Today I'd like to introduce you to an artist whose name is Adeyinka Adeyemi. Mr. Adeyemi, welcome.
Thank you, Lola.
Welcome to the show and thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you.
Mr. Adeyemi is a very, very well-known artist from Oshogbo. Oshogbo is in southwest Nigeria and it's part of Yoruba land. Yoruba land is actually the cultural source of the Yoruba people, who at this point total about 33 million, so it's a significant group of people. Oshogbo is also where we have an artist collective, and Mr. Adeyemi was a founding member of that artist collective. As well as being an artist, he has been a teacher at some leading universities in Nigeria, and also an artist with an actor with a traveling troupe of artists. So without further ado, I'd like to take a look at some of the work that you've produced in your prolific career.
Thank you very much, Lola.
Thank you.
I will start with the beadworks that we can see here. This is one of my latest works that I named Advisor to the King. As a cultural advisor to the king-to-be. This is a king-elect who is going to be in a private place for about 3 months before he is being crowned. But before he's being crowned, a chief has to be assigned to him to advise him on the shrines, the gods and goddesses of the city, and for him to know what his people will want from him.
Beautiful.
As a custodian of culture.
Beautiful.
This is this made of beads, and bead we know in Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land, that is cultural. I mean, it's the significance of beads is a royal symbol. You see, on appointment, it's only on appointment that you can use bead by an Oba. The Oba appoint the chiefs and give them beads.
And what is an Oba? Oba
is the king that is the head of a town or village.
In Yoruba land. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how this genre of work started? When did artists start working with beads in Nigeria?
Well, more than hundreds of years when they were, you see, Obas wear beaded crowns. And apart from Obas that wear beaded crowns, the Babalawos, who are the Ifa priests, use beads to decorate their abira, the bag in which they store all the ingredients of Ifa. And as well, they use beads also to decorate akpere, the one we call akpere, on which Obas rest their feet.
Wonderful, wonderful.
This is all made of beads. So we thought of putting beads on board for people to see on decorative
to turn it into artwork.
To artwork.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Can you
late 60s.
Great, wonderful. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, this one is called Olokun, the goddess of the sea. In this picture, we can see the Olokun is coming here to anchor this ship when they were in trouble. The ship was in trouble, so she came up to help them. As you know, we believe that gods and goddesses love humankind, and they come to rescue us whenever we're in problem.
So Olokun is the goddess of the sea?
Olokun is the goddess of the sea.
Does she have any other names that she's known by?
Yes, Yemoja, we can call Olokun, we can call Yemoja, we can call Olokun. is that this is different. Many people don't know the difference between Olokun and Yemoja. It's the same thing.
I see.
It's the same
so there
thing.
is no difference.
There is no difference. There is Oshun, there is Oba, and there is Oya. Oya is a goddess of the river. The river Oya in Nigeria. We know where Oya is. Because the three of them were wives of Shango. Shango was the third Alaafin of Oyo in the Yoruba kingdom. The three of them turned to rivers. Oba turned to river Oba in Iwo, and Osun turned to Osun River in Ushogbo.
I see.
And Oya turned to Oya River, which is a Niger state of Nigeria.
That's wonderful.
You see?
And what can you explain to me? This is a different style of work.
Yeah, this is batik on rice paper.
Okay.
Batik on rice paper. Batik can be made on cloth as well as it can be made on rice paper, because rice paper is so thick and can absorb water.
So do you think that you chose it because rice paper is a better medium than just ordinary cloth?
Of course, it's good. It's very good. In fact, it comes out better on rice paper than it is on cloth at times. You see, what I do is resist the areas that I want in a particular place on this with wax. This is a wax resistance method. I resist the areas that I want in a particular place just to store the water or the dye coming into the areas that I do not want. So after the whole picture, then I iron out the wax to bring the colors out.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful.
I work from the lightest area to the darkest color.
In terms of time, how long, for example, would it take you to complete a beaded work?
That depends on my mood.
I see.
You see, this is it's an imaginative composition, and whenever I have no inspiration, I don't go there. I work with my inspiration, and I just work, with the little time I have, the inspiration. I work there, and I make sure this can take about 3 weeks or 4 weeks at times. It depends on my mood.
I see. And is this a different style?
Yeah, this is another style. This is a print by block. So I made 3 blocks to make this print 3 times. I printed 3 times. And
what's reflected in the image?
The image is called Palace Gate. That's what I call it, Palace Gate. That's the palace. This is the symbol of Ife Palace. Because the symbol of the palace in Ife is elephant. If you have the opportunity to go to Ife, you will see the elephant is inscribed in one of the buildings, the palace gate. This is to show that when people are coming to visit the Oba, there are always palace drummers at the gate to welcome those who are coming to visit the Oba, and they will sound the message for the Oba to know that somebody is coming to visit.
I see.
And the musicians will say the oriki and the orile of the person coming, so that the Oba will know the background of that person coming to visit him.
So what is an oriki? Can you explain that for us?
Oriki is the ancestral name or story about what can I say about somebody's background.
So it's an ancestral poem that each family has.
Thank you very much.
And it sort of describes their history, describes who they are and how they fit into the community.
Yes.
So when someone's coming to the palace, the drummers drum out the person's oriki. That's a very good way of passing information, because it tells people exactly who's coming.
Who's coming? That's
wonderful.
That is it. Yes.
Mr. Adeyemi, I'd like to ask you, if your work had one central theme, what would be the central theme of your work?
The central theme of my work is love. I love the tradition of my people. And in Yoruba land, we love one another so much, and our family is very strong, very, very strong. We preach love. We don't fight without coming together to serve our rift. We served our misunderstandings before we decide to go out for other people to know what is going on in the family. We don't usually go to court. We call the elders together and we talk about our problems.
Yeah, so it's an informal dispute resolution. So I would imagine that in this time, this troubled time in the world, that this is probably the reason why you're choosing this juncture to take your message
around the world
international.
to push peace, because I want the world world peace. I want people to come together to settle their problems and talk about it. Have table discussion before going into war, before going into trouble.
Wonderful.
You see?
Mr. Adeyemi, thank you very, very much. We wish you all the success in the world, and thank you for coming to see us at Face the Funk.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And now, this. Some years ago I went to Africa, and part of my experience was getting involved with the Muslim religion. I wrote a story which I put in a book called Culture Shock, which is the impetus for much of what I'm doing on the show now. So I'd like to just read a couple of paragraphs from this as a way of perhaps introducing people to the idea of going to Africa and exploring for themselves what Africa has to offer. The story is called The Road to Ramadan. The evening found me at the border between Burkina Faso and Ghana. A savanna thunderstorm flooded the sky. Not unlike the desert variety, the whole land was electric with the sounds and brightness of the performance. The driving rain, falling heavy and continuous, soaked me to the skin. Without any trees for shade, I turned my face to the sky and was baptized by the wild frontier land. I had come to Africa in 1974 on a journey of discovery. I hoped would help me shed the skin of discrimination that clothed me in London, England. Across Algeria, spanning the Great Sahara Desert, through Mali and Burkina Faso, my experiences have been a worthy aperitif to the adventures that lay ahead. If you're interested in this book, please get in touch on my webpage, www.cultureshocknews. Until next time, this is Ian Moore saying thank you for watching and take good care of yourselves.